Jay, are you awake? That's really the most important thing I need to ask.
Yeah, awake is the operative word, Rachel.
What
That's
up,
the problem.
Jay?
Hi, Jay.
Hey, guys. What's up, CB? What's going on, brother? Hey.
Chilla.
So they use the sleep deprivation as a torture technique. I don't know what's going on in Bristol up there, but you're on hour 22. We'll see what your facilities are.
I'm just going to repeat everything Jackie says. So
I think that
usually works for me.
Completely wise. I want to play a little jump ball here on the jump.
Level.
See what we did there?
I like that.
I like what you did there.
First question: who would you trust more with the #1 overall pick in the upcoming draft? Arizona's DeAndre Ayton. Man, producer Danny's going to kill me for that. Or Duke's Marvin Bagley.
Both players are really, really good, but it's not even close. I take DeAndre Ayton. He is a new age center in the NBA, Rachel. He is that talented. He can play with his back to the basket. He goes over both shoulders. He can be involved in pick and pop. And that dude runs like a gazelle. He can block shots at the rim from the weak side, and he's a really good on-ball defender. He's going to make some team a contender close to it right away. He's going to be a franchise player.
Well, we keep saying it. I don't know what is true and not true. I'm not trying to break or say any news, but if he was offered a payment even, he's underpaid. Because really,
100%.
There's no question.
It's a bargain.
That kid is so talented. It is crazy. I want to move on to which big-time NBA prospect has more to prove in this tourney, Trae Young or Michael Porter Jr.?
I think it's Michael Porter Jr. I was shocked that he came back and played. And look, I understand if the kid wants to play with his brother, Jonte, then that's great. But I think he has more to lose than he does to gain. He played decently in that first round. I just get afraid of him potentially getting hurt again. They lost one of their best players due to the suspension for a DUI, Jordan Barnett. And he's not going to play, so that means MPJ is going to have to play a lot more minutes. I just pray that at the end of the game he's out and he's healthy and that he remains physically intact. He has all the skills. He could be extremely talented at the next level. I just don't want him to get hurt.
Hey, Jay, I've been a big fan of Trae Young's all year, and you've been one of the best guard in college in your time. And do you think his game translates, and what does he need to do in the tournament for people to get back on his bandwagon?
Well, CB, I'll tell you this, because, having a chance to play against you when I was younger, one of the things I always loved about your game was how cerebral you were. And when I watched Trae, yeah, he's a prolific scorer, but the guy makes the game easier for everybody on his team. The team has 467 assists. He has 290 of them. So the lack of playmakers on their team is what people try to use against him. They don't have anybody else that can create off the dribble. There are a lot of just catch and shoot type players, so that forces even more pressure to be on Trae. But I think he's going to show out in the tournament. First game is against URI. You take anybody out of the gauntlet of the Big 12 and you put them back into normal life, it's a breath of fresh air.
Ask it.
All right.
Nice.
We're going to discuss the women's tourney, Jay.
Okay.
So who do you trust more? Those undefeated UConn Huskies or the entire field?
Jump ball.
Yeah, I have to go with UConn. I got a chance to talk to Rebecca Lobo about this, and she said one of their main concerns was that they don't have the depth. They only play about 6 people. I think the other person that is the 7th person is a lady that was she was #1 player in the country that's kind of paying her dues. But just the way they play, Gabby Williams and company, I don't see anybody better. I mean, every time we're in studio and we're calling games, we're watching them beat the #1 team or #2 team or #3 team, #4 team by 20, 30 points. Yeah, anybody can upset them, but I have to go with UConn over the field.
Yeah. And anyone did last year, by the way. People forget Mississippi State did, but I'll tell you, their kryptonite is Notre Dame. Ooh. And Notre Dame has had 4 major injuries this year. Notre Dame full strength would make me pause on going the field, but they've had 4 injuries goes down. But Muffet McGraw is one of the few people that could say, Gino, I almost have your number.
Can they have a kryptonite? A kryptonite?
I'm telling you, go back and look. Go back and look at Muffet McGraw versus Gino Ariema head-to-head. It's closer than you think, my friend.
I will do that.
Closer than you think versus kryptonite. Those are 2 different things, but I do agree with you, Jackie. All right, okay. I got to get to our last question.
All right.
This comes from producer Danny, who is indeed a former Arizona basketball manager.
Oh, I've never heard it for multiple years from Danny.
Yes, that is why on the jump we pay special attention to the A Players program. So, Jay, do you really want to listen to producer Danny here?
What up, Jay? Do you really, really, really think Arizona's going to win it all? Please say yes. Bear down. Bear down.
I do, D, and I'll tell you why. Now, every team has a cause, and when we were in Charlottesville, I picked the UVA to win the whole thing. That was before I saw a misseeded Arizona Wildcat team in their region at the 4 seed. As a player, just purely from a player's perspective, when you're in that huddle with that squad, the bond that you guys have becomes so much closer and tighter due to the fact with all the speculation happening with the FBI, with DeAndre Ayton getting paid, with Alonzo Trier and the suspension due to a drug issue. You bring all that together, and it gives you way more cause. It gives you way more ammunition. And there was nothing that those kind of competitors, from Alonzo Trier to Riley Hawkins to DeAndre Ayton to Parker Jackson Cartwright to Dusan Ristic, I just see them trying to smear it in the face of not only the NCAA, everybody that doubted that team. Now, UVA has the same kind of motivation. I just think a lot of people don't pay attention to watching Arizona play, especially here on the East Coast. Their games are going around 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. They got dudes that are going to be in the league for a long time. Riley Hawkins is like a Ron Artest-like player, and Alonzo Trier can get to the rim at will. It just comes down to will they make shots from the outside, but I believe in that Arizona team to get the job done, win the whole thing.
Awesome. Well, I know somebody in our control room is very, very happy to hear you say that. Jackie was talking earlier about teams on a mission, so you got some agreement up here on the panel. Thank you, Jay. Please get some sleep. I know they've been documenting your 22 hours awake. I would like on social media for you guys to document your next 24 hours sleeping and all the different places you might fall asleep.
There you go.
Just don't make it a car.
I got you. You got it right.